Now, anybody who is familiar with me and the channel knows that I'm a shooter fan by heart. I grew up playing shooters, with some of the first games that I ever played, you know, Siphon Filter on PlayStation 1. I mean, even freaking Duck Hunter on Super Nintendo. Shooters are just the heart and soul of the games that I like to play, which is tough in today's gaming climate, man. I think shooters it's gotta be one of the most neglected genres that there currently is. Anyway, though, Rainbow Six Siege X. Now, I've personally been a fan of Rainbow for a long time. I really liked the Rainbow Six Vegas series 1 and 2. I liked 2 a little bit better. I've been playing Rainbow games for a long time, man. And I really liked Siege when it first came out. I played it a lot on the PS3, and it was one of the only shooter games that I played for a long time. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Over time, you know, it kind of grew away from sort of its 5v5 tactical shooter roots, and you know, a lot of character gadgets and abilities were introduced. It definitely didn't release in the same sort of state and format that they showcased it in, that's for sure, but it was still a fun game. Now though, you know, it's a really full game. We got a lot of operators, with all sorts of different abilities. You know, you just sort of your classic run-of-the-mill, not necessarily hero shooter, but future tech shooter with just this advanced gadgetry for your character to use. And it's been that way for a long time. Now, Rainbow Six Siege as a game, you know, they've had plenty of expansions and seasons, of course, but Rainbow Six Siege has been out for like 10 years or more. One of the few games that still commands a player base, kind of like Tarkov, you know, that just has this player base, this fan base that still plays the game after that long of a period of time. And the game has remained relatively unchanged in its core mechanics and its fundamentals. Well, then here comes Rainbow Six Siege X. You know, the announcement, the big reveal of Rainbow Six Siege X. It's been years in development. You know, they've been waiting to show us this for years, on and on and on, and now we're finally fixing to get it. Okay, so what is this grand reveal? And I don't want to take away what the developers, the programmers and the artists, the people that work in these studios have done to this iteration of the game. I don't want to take away their work. I really don't like that sentiment that all of the developers that work on these games are just like trash. These people are employees and they're working on these games. It's not always the creators themselves that are responsible for certain things happening. So anyway, what is it that we actually got? Well, I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially, we got Rainbow Six Siege, okay, the game that everybody already knows. We've played it, we get it, we understand it. We got Rainbow Six Siege, but with a 6v6 mode that allows respawning, as well as being able to use multiple operators, attackers, and defenders on one team. It's also objective based, dynamically, hostage bomb, and you have different things that you can compete for in something called the neutral zone, which grants your team a particular advantage in securing sectors on either side of the map. It's nothing we have not seen before. You try to maintain control of your zone, you try to take control of theirs, and it's a back and forth. It's conquest, it's domination. It's the same thing on one map that's new for this specific game mode, for the 6v6 game mode, not for the rest of the game. It's one map for this specific game mode, the 6v6 respawn game mode. Now, their sort of justification for it, simplistically put, is that they wanted to introduce the game to new players and make it more accessible to them, okay? Well, that's great, but how is the core Rainbow Six audience gonna take it? I mean, here you have an entire group of people, they're dressed up as their favorite operators, they've played the game for the last 10 years. How exactly are they gonna perceive the 5v5, one life, in and out, extract, complete the objective, with a now more or less codified game mode that's a little bit more arcadey, unlimited respawns, you've got this thing going on in the middle, you've got these conquest elements where you're trying to capture sectors. I mean, is that what the 10-year veterans of Rainbow Six Siege want in the game. Now, apart from that, we basically just got an Operation Health all over again. If anybody remembers Operation Health, that was a point in time in Rainbow Six Siege where they didn't do anything to the game in terms of adding new content like maps or operators or gadgets. It was more or less a balancing of the existing game. And that's really a lot of what we got here. The maps are being reworked in terms of texturing, lighting. There's a new audio implementation being reworked so that directional audio is more accurate, above and below, side to side, various things like that. I mean, again, paraphrasing, but that's about it. It's more or less just improving the current quality of the game, bringing it forward into more of a current state as far as the technology that they have at their disposal, you know, that they're going to feel happy with. And then like one new game mode. No new operators were introduced, no new gadgets were introduced. There were no new maps introduced for the base game. Again, only one map was introduced for the new game mode, but that's about it. Now, that's not bad. It's not inherently bad, in all honesty, the update for the game. I mean, it's all good things. Those are all great things. Updating the game, making it more current, optimizing it, making it look better, making it run better. That's great. But time and time again throughout the presentation and leading up to the presentation, we were told that this was something that was the next step forward for Rainbow Six, the future of Rainbow Six. They've been waiting to talk about this and reveal this for 3 years. 3 years. And it's really not much more than a seasonal patch. And it's strange because, again, it's tough to have to make videos about shooters and keep up with shooters and know that the consumer base isn't receiving them well, and then at the same time kind of looking at it and watching these things, and it just doesn't really seem like much. And Rainbow Six Siege X is kind of like that, and it just makes me think like, you know, okay, what's going on here, right? We're not even going to get into a conversation of Ubisoft, and they're barely hanging on as it is, but I don't know if it's that these developers and publishers just think their audience is stupid and that they're not gonna notice or like care about the things they do or don't do, or the scale and the breadth that they back up the claims of what they're presenting, or if they just genuinely don't care about doing it. I don't know which one it is, because if they are doing it under the guise of, well, we actually think this is good and we think people are really gonna like this, are they just like disassociated from everything that's going on in the industry right now and all of the things that people are upset about and not happy about? I mean, which is it? It's hard to tell, because the work that's been done specifically in this case is good work, but it's certainly not the future of Rainbow Six. If anything, it was something that probably could have been rolled out at the start of a new season to just bring the game to a more current place, and if anything, introduced a limited time game mode to test to see if people actually liked it or not, before just saying that, well, this is how it's going to be now, this is the game, this is what we think is best for the game. I don't know, I haven't played Siege in a really long time. It just doesn't seem like the core DNA or identity of Siege. It never has been, and I don't know if people are really going to be willing to just accept that. It kind of reminds me of Escape from Tarkov Arena. You know, Escape from Tarkov is just, it's such a beast, man. It's its own beast. It's its own universe, its own world. And when Arena came out, it's just like such a bizarre thing to do. You know, like, I don't know how successful Arena is today. I don't think it released and really garnered much success in the beginning. I mean, I think they started giving away keys for it for free there for a little while. I mean, if you're new to Tarkov and just want to experiment with the mechanics of Tarkov, then okay, Arena might be for you, and maybe this new game mode for Siege is trying to do just that. But it's just something that it's trying to fit like a square in a circular hole. It doesn't really make sense why it's there, or why you would try to force it to be there. So to wrap up this video, you know, games these days are just, I don't know, it's a tricky, weird time in gaming right now, and especially for shooters, man. I mean, it's tough. And, you can only hope that developers and publishers start to take note and heed the things, the major projects that have failed, and just the backlash. And some of it maybe is warranted, some of it maybe not so much, but it's just tough because you want great games to come out and to be able to make videos about great games and to be able to talk about great games and see updates that genuinely propel something forward in a beautiful way, and just all around everyone's happy. You know, we're solidifying the identity in the true core of this game. But it's just like time and time again that just doesn't seem to happen. And I don't really know why. I really don't. But what can you do? I mean, as a player, I don't know what you can really do. On a lighter note, Fragpunk is out, and I've actually been having a lot of fun with Fragpunk. It's free to play. It is a hero shooter, and I know the industry and players are largely kind of over that genre as well. But I like the way that this one was executed. It plays well. It feels good. It's not quite the same as every other. But apart from that, Battlefield 6 being on the horizon, I've talked about it a few times. I want to have high hopes for it, man. I really do. But there's no way to know. There's just no way to know. So anyway, let me guys know what you think about the Siege X update. I mean, am I missing something here? Tell me as a Siege fan. I haven't played Siege in a long time. Is this what Rainbow Six Siege players wanted? Does this make sense for the future of Siege? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is great for the people who play Siege. I don't really know. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, throw a like on it. If you want to join the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Means a lot. Love to have you as a part of the community. Love to hear what you think. And otherwise, we'll see you guys online.